Yeah, it's your boy Griff here, back with another video, and today I got a special video, guys. Man, today we're going to talk about the best equipments for the new LF Demon King Piccolo. So yeah, that's the newest LF for this maintenance. We got one more LF. Me personally, I think is going to be Kid Goku, the one that does the little fist thing towards Demon King Piccolo. 'Cause I just feel like, me personally, I think that was just the hypest part of DB Saga. I think the Kid Goku and DKP was just the hypest thing. I like Piccolo Jr. versus Goku, right, on the World Tournament, but I think the Demon King and Kid Goku thing was just a way better arc in my opinion. I like that for sure. But anyways, let's talk about DKP. Newest unit is dropped, and he actually I actually summoned for him. I got him to 7 stars, and he's 100 Z power away from 8 stars. So once I play a little bit of some PvP, get those medals, I will be able to get him to 8 stars. So I pulled him 3 times, all for 24k CC. So I'm gonna be talking about the best equipments for him. I'm gonna talk about the pure equipments. I'm gonna talk about the basic equipments. Then last, I'm gonna talk about the optimal equipments for him. So if you guys did summon for him, both of you guys pulled them. If not, save your CCs for anniversary, because it's literally like a month and a half away from the 7th anniversary. So if you guys enjoy these type of videos, subscribe to the channel. Road to 17k, and let's get straight into the equipment. So looking at DKP, he is purple strike base. So you want to rock any equipment that's catered to strike attack. You guys see max stats. He has more strike than blast. So let's get straight into the pure equipments. His main team is going to be Regen, it's going to be DB, and it's going to be PO. So that's really like his main 3. I think PO is just a better version of Regen, right? PO. Most of the villains of Regen is PO, besides what, Piccolo in a sense, or like Rage Shenron, right? So like good Majin Buu. So let's talk about the pures. The first one is going to be this. Once this DB Saga team fills out, I think they're going to get 2 more characters. So they might actually be a pretty solid team. But if a full DB Saga team with him, maybe Tambourine, maybe the LF, or maybe there's like another character that drops with Goku that's a little bit better as a trio together, you can really rock this equipment. Pure strike and blast, double defense, and special move damage, which is really nice for the team. Up to 15 for pure offense. So that's like the must-have equipment for DB. You rock on a full DB team. After that, you do have this PO equipment here, Uncontrollable Anger. For PO, you guys see there 10 to pure strike and blast if you have full PO. Double defense, and then special move damage, ultimate damage, which he does have. He has an ultimate card, so that's really nice as well. Now next, this one's a little bit more niche. He is Regen. This is one that gives him base health. This is kind of, regarding to like DB Saga. You rocking him with like Sand and then Blast. He gets 10 pure blast and then 15 pure strike defense with a Sand. So in a sense, you could kind of rock him on the DB Saga with like Kid Goku. They do drop an LF Kid Goku, which I personally think they're going to drop towards the end. Or you can rock him on a PO team where you have him with Turles, because Turles is a Saiyan. You also have Super Baby 2, that's a Saiyan. And you also have Goku Black, that's a Saiyan. So you can rock him on the PO team and still get the pure strike defense and blast that. Now granted, it doesn't help with his strike, because he's strike based, but it is equipment that he can rock for sure. So next after that, all these other equipment are pretty much niche here. You have this one, I guess I'm gonna mention, is more for pure defense. You guys see, actually pure defense and pure strike. You guys see a full DB tag. He gets 15 pure defense to strike and blast, and then 12 to pure strike and blast offense, and then 15% health restoration, which is pretty powerful. So full DB Saga, you get pure strike, you get pure defense, and then pure offense, and then with health restoration. So full DB, this is definitely the best equipment to go for. It's a co-op equipment. Next after that, you do have this Regen equipment here. It's called slot 2, you want to go for the strike attack, and then slot 3, you want to go for the strike attack. So you can get the pure 18 pure, and then the 16 base strike attack with the double defense, which is really nice on slot 1. After that here, you do have these 2 equipment that has like pure strike defense. So I don't know if you want him to be like tanking pure strike defense. I think he's just more of an offensive juggernaut. But these 2 equipments, one is for DB and then one is for Regen. It really helps with the pure strike defense on either one of those teams. So I just want to include both of them in there. And then after that, any other pure strikes for this guy, you could rock this equipment here. It's like a lesser version than that Awakened Regen equipment. He can get up to 18 pure strike. He just won't get that 16 base strike, and then you have this Unawakened one that gives him up to 15 pure strike. with no base strike attack. And then after that, pretty much for the peer, the last one he has is pretty much this equipment here. Now, this one is the PvP equipment. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan. I wish it was for pure like offense, but I mean he gets double offense, base health 12, and then he gets 13 to both defense if he is episode Dragon Ball Saga. So I don't know why they kind of been focusing a lot on like the pure defense with these last 3 equipments for DB Saga, like the plaque for co-op, and then you had the awaken equipment, then you have this equipment. They're all focusing on like pure defense. So pretty interesting when you drop the offensive LF unit. But anyways, that's pretty much all the peers there. Let's talk about the base, and then that's pretty much the video, and then let's wrap up with the optimal equipment. So since you strike base, one of the best equipments is going to be this one. Once again, you have return up to 45 base strike. So if you're just building a heavy strike base team, this is a good equipment if you're trying to get around that 200 base strike. 45 up there, that's really powerful. You can't go wrong with that. Next equipment that's really powerful is this one. I think this was a co-op equip for a very long time ago, if I'm not mistaken, and you guys can get up to 35 base strike with base health of 10, and then strike defense and blast attack, which is not bad because you can't go wrong, especially pairing up with like LF Cell, Ultra Cell for regen or PO, or Ultra Turles or Omega Samurai. They got a lot of blast based PO characters that he can, get a little bit of blast attack, which is not bad. So I definitely wanted to reference that. If you're rocking them on DB Saga, this is by far the most important equipment to rock them on if you rock them on a full DB Saga team, because slot 1 gives them 15 base health, 10 special move, and then 20% ultimate damage. And if the full team is DB Saga and has this equipment, DKP get up to 60% pure, not pure, but 60% base defenses, and then up to 54, right? 54, 8 times 6. Yeah, no, I'm tripping. 48 base strike and blast attack, which is insane. That is really, really powerful there. So 48 base strike, base offense, and then 60 base defense with 15% base health, special move damage, and ultimate damage. So if they make the DB Saga really good and they have some really good Zenkais, then this game could be really scary with this equipment here, which is really powerful. What they dropped last year, I believe, for was it last year? Whenever they dropped the DB Saga tag, I think this was like last year around like the October, August, September, around there with Path to Power Goku. Next to that, any other good base strike? I think this one is pretty solid. It's not the best because he only gets up to 15 base strike, but the special move, the base health, and the ultimate damage is pretty good with the blast attack. So it's something that's pretty solid. It doesn't give him the high amount of base, but like the health, the ultimate damage, and special move is pretty solid. It's kind of like a weaker version of this equipment, but you don't got to rock them on a full DB Saga team to use it. Next after that, bro, like I said, this DKP doesn't really have a lot of base strikes. This one is okay. Get up to 38 base strike with 16 strike defense. He doesn't have access to the awakened one because this is for Region Saga to the movie. So like for like Janemba or Orange Piccolo, or like what's the name, or like Garlic Jr. or like Metal Cooler, in a sense. And then the last equipment I want to talk about is this one. This one is okay. Base strike up to 15, base health to 10, and then he gets 15 ultimate damage. The only issue is since he's not Cyborg Tao, he doesn't get that extra 20 ultimate damage inflicted. So but this one is still okay equipment. So when it comes to building the best equipments for DKP, first I'm going to start out with DB Saga. I think the best one you want to have is definitely this one. Base, pure for offense and defense, and then health restoration is really powerful. You rock them on a full DB Saga. If you have a full DB Saga team in terms of the battle members and the bench, this one is a must-have. Up to 60 base defense, and then 48 base strike with 15 base health, special move damage, and ultimate damage. And then the last equipment, I'm not entirely sure what you want to use for the last equipment. I guess you kind of want to have something that's that has good base strike. So an equipment like this, for example, might not be bad. You could go for another pure. If you want to go for something that has extra pure defense, you guys can go with this equipment. I don't think he really has an equipment that's like pure to himself in a sense, right? Like I don't think he has any equipments where it's like regen and it's to himself. I think it's all based off like team stuff. So you could use an equipment like this if you're rocking on a DB Saga team. Now for regen, I think you definitely want to rock this equipment here. A lot of these equipments are like relying on other characters like Rose, like if you're rocking them with like Masu, for example, or like Super 17, or like you rock them with Ultra Cell. So I didn't really mention those, but stuff that applies to himself, you definitely want to rock this equipment for the regen tag because he gets that pure strike, melee strike, and then base strike there. So definitely want to mention that one. If you're rocking on PO, you can rock this equipment. And then after that, I would say you're rocking on regen or PO. I would say this equipment is pretty solid. Ultimate damage, special move, health, and then double offense base, which is not bad. And then the last equipment is kind of just like up in the air. You guys can go with this equipment here, something that has health and base strike. You guys can go here with something that has a little bit more defense. Maybe he's not the best in tanking, so you guys can rock with this equipment. Something that gives him a little bit more health as well, 12 base health. And then another good third option for the equipment wise could be something like this if you're lacking a lot of base strike on your team. And yeah, yeah, DKP doesn't really have that much equipment compared to like a lot of other units like a Saiyan unit, but I feel like his best equipment is more catered to DB than it is for like Regen or PO. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the video with DKP. If you guys did something for him, hopefully you guys pulled him. Let me know how you guys think he is. I think he's pretty solid, especially with his Rise and Rush gimmicks. Like having 4 different cards is really powerful. Guaranteed nullification on Rise and Rush, getting 2 more Dragon Balls after that, and then destroying enemies. That's pretty powerful there. But I don't know how much he impacts the meta right now. I think it just all depends on who drops towards the end of April and how good that DB Saga. I think he really wants to be paired up with this DB Saga team, and I think this whole team gimmick will be about Dragon Balls. Kind of like the gimmick with like Diamond, how it has like a lot of like paralysis and abnormal condition stuff. I think DB is gonna be more about like the Dragon Ball gimmick, trying to rise and rush your opponent as much times as possible. So if this new LF that drops has stuff with more like Dragon Ball stuff, then it's going to be a pretty powerful team, just being able to rush your team, your enemies twice, like really fast. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and rough, and I'm out. Peace.